Suppose you have this nice painting in Illustrator and you want to arrange a couple of more, and then when you just make a copy, then you see, of course, it's a rectangle and the background is not transparent. Now, in order to clip this, it's better to do it in Photoshop. It will give you a better result and it will be also faster. But if you do not have Photoshop, let's do this in Illustrator. Welcome to the Vector Garden. Let's just dive right in. We need a second one of these, so we need to make a copy, going to Edit Copy, and then paste in place. So we have two stacked on top of each other, and the top one needs to be traced. So let's go to Window, Image Trace, and we trace this in black and white. This is of course not what we need, so we need to move the threshold to more, like that. And now we need to ignore all these insides. They can be fixed rather quick, but we need to take care of the outside line. So let's set this to outlines with source image so we see both. And we have a couple of tricky spots there, which is of course here where it's very tight and in the spaces where it's very light, like here. So what we need to do, we need to set the noise to a smaller value to cover more of the intricate spots. And we need to set the corners to less and the paths to a higher precision. We are getting closer, but we need to get even more of the threshold. So these are all covered. And this here is still a tricky part. We won't be able to solve this with the settings. That needs to be solved manually. So that needs to be corrected later on. And let's get back to the tracing result. We still have some inside spots, but not so many. And of course, we need to ignore color so that the white does not get generated. And then let's go to expand, like that. Now what we can do is go in here and see that we can save that manually. If you need to move just that complete line, we can just do that. I'm going to first select that and I'm going to lock the selection. And then if you need to move that complete thing, you can select it using the lasso tool and then take the direct selection tool and move all of them, which is pretty nice. And you can of course do that with some of the other lines as well. Illustrator got better with that offset when tracing, but it still might happen that it's not completely solved. So that was the handle. Let's see that we can move the point, and now it's better. So I'm going to leave it as that. Let's select that once more and invert it. And now to get rid of these, what you could do, if it weren't for these as well, is let's do that. I'm going to show you that, but we cannot use it here. So what you could do is just go to Divide and then Unite in the Pathfinder panel. And you see these are vanished, but these as well. So we cannot do that. So in this case, again, use the lasso tool. Just circle them and delete them, and that's that. So these stay there. So now we need to unlock that source image, and there are two different methods to make masks. So I'm going to select these two and just copy them. So first we're going to make a purely vector-based clipping mask. You just select the two, go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make, and there's a warning that it's too complex. So that's because there are a lot of points on that path. What we can then do is go to Path, simplify. And then let's go here. You see there are 707 and the new one is 200. So let's show the original path. And then it's slightly visible in red. So I'm not zoomed in very far. We can go slightly more to the maximum to get a better result like that. And then let's go here and try that again. Go to clipping mask make. And again, it cuts it out. Let's undo that again. And let's take a look at our mask. Let's go to Window and Layers. And we are going to take a look at that. This is a group. And a group is not correct for this. So we need to inspect that a little. I'm going to double click it. And then what we need to check out. So this is something we do not need. I'm going to select all of these. Let's see if we need it. No, we do not need it. And we do not need that either, or that one, or that one. So we are left with that compound path. And let's get out of isolation mode and let's ungroup this. So, and now we are going to do that again. Object, clipping mask, make, and there we go. So, if I now make a duplicate, then you see we have no background now. Let's delete that. Let's take a look at the other method to make a mask. I'm going to select this one again because we've got the same group. So let's go in here and select all of these and delete them here and then ungroup this. And now I'm going to make another mask. Now the clipping mask is nice, but you cannot have soft edges. That's not possible because it's a vector path. If you want to have soft edges, then you need to make a different kind of mask, an opacity mask. And in that one, we can apply effects. I'm going to move that slightly to the left and maybe let's also move it slightly up. I'm going to deselect the smart guides for that. So like this, so that it fits a little better. And then we're going to Effect, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And we need just some anti-aliasing, so just a little softness along the edge, so a very small value. Let's zoom in here and you see it's just slightly soft. And then we can again select them both and go to Window, Transparency, and then Make Mask. And of course, in the opacity mask, what is black is invisible. So what we need to do is invert the mask. The clip option is turned on automatically, so that causes everything outside of the mask to be gone. And then we have this result. And if you zoom in, then you see we have a slight anti-aliasing, which makes a nicer edge. So let's make the duplicate. And you see, you just get a nicer blending of those two. So these are the two methods you have in Illustrator to mask something.